We're on our computers and our devices every single day, but have you ever really stopped to think about what's actually going on under the hood? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to introduce you to the high performance team of specialists that lives right inside your computer.
So let's start with a big question. What really makes one laptop feel lightning fast? Just instantly responsive, while another one just chugs along. Is there some single magic component doing all the work, or is something else going on? Well, here's the secret. It's not one single thing. The real speed and power of your computer, that comes from a whole group of highly specialized parts working together in perfect harmony. So you should think of it less like a single engine and more like an elite sports team, where every single player has a really crucial role to play. And every great team needs a great manager, right? A leader who calls the shots and makes sure everything runs smoothly. In your computer, that leader is the CPU. And here it is. This little chip is the central processing unit, and it is the undisputed brain of the entire operation. It's the central command post making all the critical decisions, all the time. I mean, it quite literally thinks, decides, and controls everything you do on your computer, from something as simple as moving your mouse across the screen to running your most complex, demanding software. So what does this manager actually do? Well, a lot. It takes all the instructions from your software and then directs every other part of the team. It's handling all the core logic, all the calculations. Basically, it's what lets you multitask, juggling all those open tabs in Chrome and your Office docs at the very same time. And what's really cool is just how much this manager has improved over the years. This chart here shows what's called a multi-core score, which is just a fancy way of saying how well the CPU can handle a bunch of tasks at once. And as you can see, the newer CPUs, like that Intel Ultra 7, they're not just a little bit better, they are way more powerful. And for you, that translates directly into a smoother, faster, more responsive computer. But hey, even the best manager can't do everything alone, right? Modern computing demands some really specialized skills, and that's why our team has a couple of absolute superstars, the GPU and the NPU. Okay, first up is the team's resident artist, the GPU. Basically, if you can see it on your screen, you have the graphics processing unit to thank for it. It's the visual engine for the whole system. Now, the GPU's secret weapon is something called parallel processing. See, instead of having just a few powerful cores like the CPU, it has thousands of smaller ones. This lets it work on tons of tiny parts of an image all at the same time. Just imagine thousands of tiny paintbrushes all working at once. This is absolutely perfect for rendering complex graphics, videos, 3D models, and it's what makes it essential for gamers, video editors, and designers. And now let's meet the newest member of the team, the NPU. This is the AI Genius. It's a specialist processor that was designed from the ground up to handle all those smart features that we're starting to use every single day. The NPU's job is to run those AI tasks with incredible efficiency. So think about background blur or noise cancellation on a video call. The NPU handles all of that without even breaking a sweat, which frees up the CPU and GPU to do other work. And here's the kicker, this saves a massive amount of power. We're talking up to 40% on certain tasks. That translates to hours of extra battery life, which, let's be honest, is a huge game changer. So this really shows the difference between our two specialists perfectly. You can think of the GPU as the team's power lifter, using immense strength in these short, explosive bursts for heavy-duty visual work. The NPU, on the other hand, is the marathon runner. It's built for sustained, low-power efficiency for all those smart background tasks. So they're both specialists, but they play very different, very complementary roles. Of course, our star players can't do their jobs without an incredible support system behind them. And that's exactly where memory and storage come in, providing the foundation for everything else the team does. First up is RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. And honestly, the best way to think about RAM is as the team's workspace, or maybe its desk. It's where all the current work is happening right now. So when you open an application, all its data gets moved into RAM so the CPU can get to it super fast. The more RAM you have, the bigger your desk is, and that means you can have more apps and files open at the same time without everything slowing to a crawl. Okay, so if RAM is the temporary workspace, then storage is the permanent archive. It's the filing cabinet, the library, it's the team's long-term memory. This is where all your files, your photos, your applications, and your entire operating system are kept safe and sound, even when your computer is turned off. And just like our other components, storage has gotten ridiculously fast. Just look at this table. A modern PCIe Gen 4 drive is over 10 times faster than an older SATA SSD. Now, what does that actually mean? It's the difference between waiting a whole minute for your computer to boot up versus just a few seconds. It's the difference between watching a loading bar for a huge application versus it opening almost instantly.
Okay, so we've met all the players. We have the manager, the specialists, and the support system. Now let's see how they all work together in a real-world scenario I think we're all very familiar with. What looks like a simple video call. It really is a beautiful symphony of collaboration. Okay, first, your super fast storage drive instantly loads the video call app. Then that app runs in RAM, your active workspace. The CPU, our manager, is coordinating everything: the audio, the network, all the core functions. At the same time, the GPU is working hard rendering your video stream and everyone else is on the call. And finally, the NPU, our AI genius, quietly steps in to blur your background and filter out that dog barking next door. It's all happening at once. It is perfect teamwork. So why does any of this matter to you? I mean, why is it important to understand this internal team? Well, because it directly impacts your entire experience with your computer. But the payoff is crystal clear. A balanced, high-performing team means you get faster performance, you get smoother graphics, and you get these genuinely useful AI features, all without killing your battery. In short, understanding how all these players work together helps you understand what makes for a truly great computer. And that means a much, much better experience for you. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've just seen the rise of the NPU as the team's new AI specialist. So, as artificial intelligence gets woven even more deeply into everything we do, who do you think is going to be the next star player on this incredible team? The game is always changing, and it is going to be fascinating to see who steps up next.